When it comes to lesson planning, there's a lot of different ways that you can approach it. There's everything from unschooling, which is very little to no planning at all the way to hyper planning, which means everything has to be scheduled, laid out. If it's not scheduled and laid out, we don't do it. And that can really impact your schedule and your flexibility. Hopefully, our family falls somewhere in the middle. What I'm going to do today is show you where we're currently at with homeschooling. We've definitely evolved over the years when it comes to lesson planning, because we started out with one child in kindergarten or first grade, and it was very simple at the beginning with just doing her. We focused on reading, writing, and arithmetic. We did an hour to begin with of school, and so as she has grown, our homeschooling has grown, and that means that the demands of lesson planning have also grown. When I started, I also had one child, and now I teach 4 children. So lesson planning has become complicated even at times. And so we have tried various different ways. At the beginning, I bought teacher lesson planning books and I would fill those out. I have created Excel spreadsheets, very simple, especially at the beginning, where I would fill in according to subjects. And now we use a curriculum that does a lot of the lesson planning for us. We use My Father's World. For me, lesson planning always takes a good amount of time because I like to plan 6 to 8 weeks at a time. So what I'll do is I will work out a time with my husband where he can be home alone with the kids, and I will pack up as much of their curriculum as I can manage, and I'll head out to Starbucks because I need the caffeine. Today I happened to find a study room at the library, so I had a quiet place to talk to you guys and share how I do things. But like I said, you need a place to spread out, need some caffeine, and just get to it. I'm going to take you in a bit closer so you can see exactly what these My Father's World assignment sheets look like. This is week 9 of Creation to the Greeks. And you can see here that they've laid out our Bible time for us. There's memory verses, there's Bible reading, and then there's an extra book called Journey Through the Bible that we use, kind of like a really brief commentary that just gives some additional information. There's also vocabulary that the kids have, Latin and Greek, and of the different vocabulary or Latin that we've tried, I really like this the best because it's very simple. They learn the words, but it's not overkill. I have to fill in spelling, English, math. We choose to use XtraMath, which is an app that you can purchase for the iPad or the Kindle for the kids to practice their arithmetic drills. And then you can see there's history that's planned out for us. They have a timeline that they work on throughout the year. And then they do have science planned for My Father's World, but I choose to use Apologia instead. And so what I'll do is on that bottom margin down there, I'll write in Apologia, and then I'll write in the week and the day that we are doing it. And there's history and music, there's music and art lessons there, and then a space to put in foreign language and a space for the read alouds that they've assigned, which are fantastic. To begin the year of lesson planning, what I will do is I will create an assignment binder for each of the kids. You can see here I have Izzy's assignment binder. So I will create a binder for them, I'll label it, and then what I'll do is I'll take the lesson planning book from My Father's World and I will make copies of every week. You can see here that they make a week lesson planning grid, and there's lots of blanks in there. And so what I'll do is I'll copy these off. So I will copy one for Isabel, Gideon, and Sarah. So 3 different binders, and I will lay those all in. The next thing I'll do after that's completed is I will begin filling in the blanks. And what I like to do is first I'll start with the subjects that we share that maybe are not necessarily in here, or maybe I'll have a couple kids that are sharing a subject. And so then I'll plan theirs out together. Okay, so to get started, the first thing that I'll do is I'll put the date for the days of the week on the top of the paper. This week is starting with November 13th. So then we go to November 14th, November 15th, November 16th, November 17th. Another thing that I really like about My Father's World is that Monday through Thursday are the heavy days and Friday tends to be very light. You may have Bible time readings to do, but typically not a whole lot else. You can see that there's a notebook assignment on this particular week. So it's great for being able to have a more restful weekend if you've got plans to go somewhere. Or if you need a catch-up day, then Friday is real light and the kids can catch up if they've gotten behind. But it's a great motivator for our kids to work hard so that they basically get an extra day to their weekend, an extra day to have fun. So what I will do here is we don't use the science for My Father's World, so I'm just going to go ahead and cross that off here. I'll cross it out here too. And then what I do is I just use this bottom space down here and I will write Apologia in there. My kids know exactly what that is. And then I will write in their assignment for the week. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the Apologia lesson plan book. This is right at the front of their notebooking journal, and I'm going to plan out week 8. So what I do is I will take 2 days to do the first day and 2 days to do the second day, because Apologia plans out just 2 days of work for their primary level. So I'll do this. I will write in week 8, day 1, week 8, day 1, week 8, day 2, week 8, day 2. So this gives us some flexibility and freedom. If we have a lot going on a day, say we're rushing out to do piano lessons and we can only do a little bit of work, well, then we've got another day to cover the rest of that material for that assigned day. It works out very nicely. For the moms out there who don't really consider themselves planners and might find themselves feeling a little intimidated by this process, I just want to encourage you that as I got started with little tiny ones, I grew into this process. I definitely was not the planner when I started this process that I am today. Today I've learned to be organized, from organizing their assignment binders to organizing closets with school supplies. Not that they're always clean, mind you, but I have grown in this area myself over the years. I think prior to homeschooling, I was kind of a spontaneous person. There were things that I needed to get done in a day, but I wouldn't plan out my time. I would just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. And I would say that as a mom, a homeschool mom, a mom with 4 kids and a wife, I can't do that anymore. It would waste a lot of time. And so, like I said, as they have gotten older and as they have grown, I have grown. And one of the areas where I have grown is being more of a planner. So don't be discouraged if you're not here and you want to be here. Just know that it takes time. Take small steps, and choose an area where you really want to improve. Whether it's getting your toddlers down for naps at the same time every day, or having snacks at the same time every day, or whether it's I just want to teach the alphabet to my preschooler and the phonics, then just make a plan for that. And as you conquer that and get better at that, then you can add things to that planning. I just wanted to give you one more encouragement of why planning in such extensive chunks is a good thing to do. Recently, about a month ago, my husband was in an ATV accident, and everything kind of came to a screaming halt for us, especially with school. I needed to be able to focus my energies on taking care of him. Well, because I had planned 8 weeks at a time, praise the Lord, we were in the middle of that, and we were able to just take a week off of school and pick right up where we left off. And so I love that flexibility that comes with homeschooling, but I also love that God reduced my stress because I didn't have to scramble to get things planned for the kids when I needed to be able to give a lot of energy to helping my husband heal through that process. So just like planning meals ahead and having some in the freezer is a great plan for when life happens, planning in big chunks for homeschool can also be a great blessing as well. Thank you so much for joining us today for Doing Life Deliberately. I hope that through these tutorials and how-tos that you are able to prayerfully, passionately, and purposely do life deliberately. If you like this video and you found it to be helpful, click the like button and press subscribe and share it with your friends. We'd love to help them do life deliberately too.